Buonasera. Tempi Dispari is here with Heaven's Basement in the Cube in Rome, and we're interviewing the band just before the gig, so please introduce yourself to our readers.
I'm Rob, I'm the bass player.
I'm Chris, the drummer.
Say something, sit down.
I'm Sid, guitarist.
You're in the band?
Yeah.
Okay.
You wouldn't think it, would you?
I knew it. I just wanted to see if you were, if you were with us or not. Okay, and what can you tell us about your band? I mean, you were born in the UK. What city?
We're from all different areas in the UK, all four of us. Some from like the northeast. Chris is from Manchester, Sid's from the Midlands, and Aaron's from near London originally. So we're all from different areas, but we just got together through playing plenty of shows in England and kind of crossing paths with each other over the course of a couple of years or so.
Oh, so you're a Mancunian?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
I'm a Mancunian.
Yeah.
I like how the word Mancunia actually comes from the times the Romans occupied around the area as well.
You mean the base camp?
Yeah, exactly.
Mancunian,
Mancunia.
yes?
Did not.
The Republic of Mancunia, it was.
So, why Heaven's Basement? Why this name?
When the band first started, we was jamming in an apartment. There was like a basement downstairs, and Sid was like, "Let's go down Heaven's Basement, have a jam, work on some songs," and it just stuck with us from there. Really, fired around a few other names after that, but we just went back to Heaven's Basement and carried on. Focused on writing music and playing shows after that, rather than worrying about the name too much.
And that's where you met? I mean, all of the bands?
We met, me and Sid have known each other the longest since 2006. The band started in 2007, 2008 with guys that are no longer in the band. We met Rob in 2009, Aaron in 2010. So yeah, it's just a case of us being on the road in different bands over the last couple of years in the UK and getting to know each other, and eventually all past meeting at one point where we could be in a band together.
So you're playing together since 2008, you said, and you have an EP and a full album, a full length. And what can you tell us about these recordings you made?
So the EPs were really important in the early days of the band. Before we had the album out, we was touring everywhere like we are now, across the UK and across Europe, so we needed the EPs to keep us on the road, to pay for fuel and food and things like that, and obviously introduce the world to Heaven's Basement, with the ultimate aim of doing a full-length album at one point, and that happened last year. This year.
Well, no, it got released this year.
Yeah, we recorded it last year and it was released this year.
Yeah, so the debut album, we released that in February, Filthy Empire, and that was just... we didn't feel in any rush to do a full-length album until we felt like we had the right amount of songs and we wanted to make the right impact. So we did that in America, and we ended up recording it in around 8 days, so it was quite quick, but it's got songs from like the first songs that were ever wrote in the band to the things that were wrote that week in the studio kind of stuff, and it just feels like a very relevant timestamp for us at that moment. So yeah, we're still really happy with it.
I know that you're very keen on live, on gigs, and I have the idea that you are more keen on live playing around than recording. That's what comes out.
Yeah. Recording's really good fun as well, but we have the best time when we're on stage, and that's how this band started, was just playing as many gigs as possible. And for its whole time it's been running, that's always been the philosophy. And everyone else in the band, even in other bands, was had the most fun when they were on stage, so that's where we feel most comfortable.
It's just the whole energy that comes along with a live show is the best feeling, being on stage and seeing a crowd that is hopefully enjoying our show and giving us the energy that it just becomes a great thing. And in the studio we try and replicate that as best we can by approaching the recordings like a live situation.
You've been to the USA, and your sound is much more USA than UK. What can you tell me about this?
I don't think that was intentional, and I don't know, I guess some songs might have that kind of similarities to anthemic choruses and stuff, but there's still things on the album like I'm Electric and things like that still to me sound very English and have a punky kind of vibe, but that wasn't intentional. That was probably just due to our lack of technique in our instruments.
There's like the album's got a lot of different sides of the band on it. There's light songs, there's heavier songs, punk sounding songs. It's a very kind of wide spectrum of of sound and stuff. So I think album number 2 and eventually album number 3, etc. The people start figuring out exactly what Heaven's Basement is, you know.
I mean, your hit has reached the 13th place in the USA chart. And what can you tell us about this? I mean, how does it feel to be 13th in the world chart in the USA? Is it correct? I mean,
Yeah,
what
it was.
said?
It was our last single that got a good amount of radio play and stuff in the States, which was amazing for us, being a band from England the first time over there and seeing our song in like the top 20 alongside bands that we look up to and admire. So that was amazing, but you know, we don't fool ourselves into believing that we've made it in any way, shape or form, because that's just radio play, and for us, you know, it's about touring and going back to places time after time. And North America is so big that it takes like a whole 6 months to just get around it in one time. So still a lot of work to be done, but it's a great thing, and we was really pleased that it had a good reaction over there.
How about touring with great names like the ones you toured with?
Yeah, I mean, we've been really lucky. Without a label or an album, we just built up our reputation on the live circuit and ended up when American bands like Papa Roach, Buck Cherry, Blackstone Cherry, all those guys came over to England, we ended up getting a call to kind of come out and support them. And we've been really lucky in touring with awesome bands that we get on really well with and still keep in contact now. So it's kind of cool having done some groundwork in Europe, going back over and playing with them at festivals in America and stuff like that, and catching up with them. So we were just really lucky, but tried to make the most of it and steal as many fans as we could from them shows.
So you're playing in Rome tonight. How about it?
Amazing.
It's been too long.
First time we was here 4 years ago for the first time. When we first started out, we would go and play anywhere in Europe that would have a stage for us, and if we could afford to get a cheap flight over and play to some people, we'd do it. And we played Jailbreak Club in Rome for years.
We will have I guess.
You've upset him now. He's gone. He's upset.
We've done a substitution.
Yeah. He's upstairs. Yeah.
No,
He's downstairs. I guess. Okay, should be on. Grazie. Thank you. And last question is, I was asking you. Last question. Yes, we're done. We're over. So, lots of luck for playing here in Rome, and hope to see you again.
Yeah, I think we're coming back to Italy next year on our first ever European headline tour. So, if our Italian fans or potential Italian fans like what they hear, come down to that show and see the chaos unfold on stage. Okay, so we have to follow you, them. Have we? Okay, thank you, and bye-bye. Thank you very much.
And thank you from Tempi Dispari.
One of my favourites.
You want a question?
Do you want to?
Yeah, give him a question for you as well.
Yeah.
Okay, just introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sid, the guitarist.
Okay.
And that's it. I mean, that's pretty much all there is to say about me.
Okay. We have a very Tempi Dispari question. Tempi Dispari means up tempo.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yes, that's how we call. And I'd like to ask you, what is the question that you would never want to be asked to you from a journalist? I mean, what you would never tell a journalist? Imagine that this is off, and so you.
To be fair, we don't really talk about a lot of things, like what happens on the road and like fun things that go on. We tend to keep all that stuff quite secret anyway. So I don't know. I got asked the other day, would I rather know the cause of my own death or the date of my own death? And that was a really tricky question. So I think, Rob, you should answer that now. What? Would you rather know the cause?
Now you're interviewing me?
Yeah.
You're going to be here 2 minutes.
Would you rather know the cause of your own death or the date?
The cause, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
But if there's a cause and if you found out you were going to die on a plane, then you'd never get on a plane. Whereas if you know the date, you can live around it.
Nah, but then, what happens if it's just dying in my sleep? I'll be well alright.
Make it so that you had to go on a plane at some point.
No, I know, but you'd be like, oh, I'm going to die. Whereas if you knew the
That's
date,
fine.
What if it was like, oh, you're going to die next week? Well, then, I think if you know the date, then you can cut out the bollocks because you know you're going to die and then just live with purpose.
Nah, I'd rather not know and see what happens. Cause of death might be dying in my sleep, then it can happen
Yeah, what if
any
you
time.
sat in a chair in an Italian dressing room?
Drinking water. I'll stand up. and have a beer.
Okay.
Three, two, one.
So this is the very last question. What would you like to ask yourself if you were the journalist?
Where did I get my talent from? No, I'm joking. I won't translate very well.
Sorry.
What question would I ask myself?
Yeah.
Do you really think you can get away with it?
Okay, that makes it. Thank you.